We saw the start. Van Vliet was on Draymond Green. They got the switch to.
It's where you start to see the matchup start to came in, and then all the changes these coaches make as
Steph Curry sails that one out of bounds.
Turnover, Golden State. It was the 7.
Yeah, I've seen it many times. You get that first game like you've already done your job.
Rockets turn it over. Podziemski running the break, and Moody
is able to stop the layup by Moses Moody. Great effort.
Only had the 5 field goal attempts in game if they're going to prevail here tonight.
Well, Steve Kerr told us before the game for that matchup.
Here's Jalen Green. Rockets need a big night from him. And
had an assist on the first play, so all folks.
Those two wearing microphones for us tonight. That's going to be a fun listen. And now Şengün going to work, drops it off, and a foul. And 26 points for the first time All-Star. And Thompson.
A guy who's not a real stretch shooter like Amin Thompson is you tend to relax.
Here's Curry, comes around the screen, buries the 3.
Screen right there to get Curry free.
Green misses his first chance. Story 2 for the Warriors as we get a foul on Thompson. Have an open shot like that all night.
Well, that's how physical this series.
Butler. And Brooks a little turnaround. Good. On a push. Both teams great in transition. Green drops it off. Thompson with a fly, and he lets it fly and knocks in a 3.
I think both coaches
help from Green. And now late clock here, and Moody.
Here, Moody does a great.
Curry turns the corner, drives, kicks. Draymond Green for 3. Draymond Green. Green on Green inside the Şengün.
Win this, but he was careless. Şengün just able to seal.
22 playoff series as a member of the Memphis Grizzlies. Very physical.
Manipulated to get to that matchup twice already.
Podziemski rises up the left, not quite 100%. Şengün offensive board, sets up Green, and the Rockets get a chance here. Brooks turnaround, no good.
Not to be calm too.
Good stuff, Lauren. Thank you. Got the Warriors' first loss with this particular starting 5 on the floor. Remember, a Golden starting 5 that only lost 3 games when they were all.
Nobody was really handling this Warrior team.
Keep an eye here on a sluggish start to this one. As Moody wide open in the corner. That's much more aggressive shooting the basketball. That's a 3. Curry's hands.
Well, Şengün's got really quick hands. He's a guy that averaged over a steal a game.
Curry was trying to spring free. Dylan
did, but most of them will. But he's absolutely right.
Knocks the ball out of his hands, forces a jump ball.
It is physical combat on every possession.
So that is an early story here in the first quarter.
Well,
since the 2019 season, the Rockets were last in the playoffs. Against the job last year, they finished 500, and then this year, 52.
European big man Şengün. We've seen him in the post.
Clutching at his right shoulder. That's been the last 5 years for the Rockets.
Very upset at the officiating as Şengün, he hit a
just 23% from beyond the arc. Butler back on the floor.
The other night, they got so wrapped up in the officiating.
Talent he is. Curry with a 3-pointer, no good. Jabari Smith, first man.
Got knocked down on that rebound. We should keep track of knockouts.
Or explodes to the basket for the two-handed jam. Jalen Green. Warriors all year as well, even going back to last season.
Last 3 games, and you sort of at times lose your rhythm a little bit.
Trick shot artist. Podziemski back on the floor. Let's keep an eye on Jimmy Butler's legs. Went right out from under him. Straight contact on the floor.
Oh, this is a very capable guy.
You see where they rank in all those major defensive categories. It unlocked every player.
It's Steph Curry and Draymond Green are championship-level guys as Smitler. They knew they had a chance, and everybody raised their game.
I think he's going to be going to the locker room.
Well, you're not going to see many minutes. See if the Rockets can take advantage.
Jalen Green fires up a 3, missed.
Not much scoring on the floor here. This is what they need. Buddy Hield
by Moody drives. Wow, what a finish. Tari Eason. Holiday going to work and comes up short. Looney with Santos and Pajemski. This is a makeshift lineup for Steve Kerr.
He's the Warriors' third leading scorer. And we're going to see him in the game.
585, game one. Very low score at the chance at a trip to the NBA draft. Play now on the NBA app or at NBA since April 11th. Kuminga goes right to the basket, missed it.
Second opportunity with the foul. That's going to be a travel.
Sure is.
Now.
A quick oop, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter.
We'll see what we can do.
This is a very physical series. How do you maintain
in this series? We got to handle it.
We appreciate it.
That's not new for them, but it's also not something they've had to deal with in a while. Lauren is back there awaiting a report as Dylan Brooks hits a tough every time down the floor.
Here it is, a battle inside. Very hard because there's something, like you said, Brian, on every play. Brooks, look, you love his combativeness, the competitiveness. And we see Pat Spencer in the game. You know, it's interesting, but he has a little margin for error. Both teams, by the way, open in this quarter in zone.
You got Şengün and Adams on the floor, the two bigs, and Kuminga able to force the turnover.
Did you see what they did in the regular season?
Van Vliet, one of his challenges, which was successful, not going to use it here.
Steve Kerr anticipated using in game two. They can against the zone. And then Şengün all the way out. Good look.
Points.
Well, that's Rockets basketball right there.
Spencer drives, puts up. Rockets already plus 12. And the Rockets are taking advantage with their talented out. So many blowout wins in the regular season this year. 15 home wins overall in any of the last 3 seasons. They had that great run to feed. And it's all going Houston's way here in the second quarter.
It's not in game one, but it's taken over here in game two.
Tari Eason momentarily on Butler as Kuminga drives in, turn around. There's locker room as well. Jabari Smith for 3, missed it. It'll be Kuminga's night, at least to knock some rust off. And Kuminga his first minutes. And Curry out of the pack. Spencer all the way in, lays 34 points in the first half in game one, already with 40. Posed to the basket. Oh! Met by Jabari. Jimmy Butler. Lauren just gave you pelvis contusion, will not return to go. Pajemski, who's dealing with an illness, guarded by Eason. And now Spencer gets in the paint and scores there for Golden State. After the Rockets led by 20, Van Vliet gets Houston. The NBA on TNT is brought to you by the Hyundai Customer Assurance.
Struggled from the floor. He's only taken one shot today, but 4 for 20 in the...
With that championship pedigree with the Toronto Raptors in 29 players, and they hit it right on the head. Rockets have Pat Spencer running with Looney. Spencer will take it himself. Looney there with a follow.
3 buckets, but his drive drew the help and set up Looney.
4 assists in his first 13 minutes on the floor.
He really improved his shooting this year. That was a career high.
Tomorrow, Clippers and Nuggets on NBA TV. And then Friday.
Well, that Nuggets-Clippers series. It was
field goal attempts. Only missed 3 shots. Here's Kuminga out. 3-pointer. No.
So dominant in the regular season.
Green, step back 3. Got it.
Keep up. And then a left-handed pass off the dribble.
Spencer with a rebound. You see how shifty Jalen Green is. What an athlete. But he's got Curry on the floor. And now Curry goes to work and can't get it off his 2-way contract in March as Şengün.
He lost his balance on his own.
Got the benefit of the call as
Can move him all over the floor, put him in pick and rolls, make him a playmaker, and he's really
the ball on Steven Adams, which you can do before the last 2 minutes of the...
Can think of right now. Jimmy Butler out of this game, will not return. So it'll be Warriors ball.
Well, and they're going to get away from the ball intentionally like that.
Santos and Looney cuts, and Looney is fouled. Waves of things that they were not expecting.
No, but both these coaches trying to pull out anything. Went to the hack of Adams by the half.
A lot of guys out of the rotation, but he drives. Oh, what a play by Kuminga. And gets it right back. Şengün goes to the back.
I mean, we talked about it earlier, but
Looney guarded by Şengün. And Payton. Oh, he missed the dunk.
Gary Payton II doesn't miss too many dunks.
They get the switch they want. Van Vliet calling for it. He lets it fly. And no. Curry up ahead. Kuminga flying. Kuminga lays it.
Easier said than done, and as I predicted, Steven Adams going to come back in since March 19th, and he's made one in each game now.
Buddy Hield back in. Van Vliet shakes Hield. And Van Vliet's got another.
Well, if Houston's going to make even a few threes, there's no chance.
Inside Şengün. He'll take it himself, flat-footed. Gets the bounce. Ball's loose on the ground. Jump ball. Şengün.
PTSD. Looking at Steph Curry. I get PTSD on a lot of nights looking at all these
Seconds and change separating shot and game clock. Green back into.
If there's not a fight in this series.
Post and Hield his 2 3-point shooters. Here comes Green to help him. Curry goes to the basket, fakes a pass, and grimy first half of basketball. 6.